God says, my child, listen closely, because what I am about to reveal will shift the way you see everything around you. A woman connected to your life in ways you do not yet understand is standing in utter shock at this very moment. Her hands are trembling, her breath is uneven, her mind is spinning with fear that she cannot put into words. She has received news that shattered her world in a single sentence, a diagnosis she never imagined, never suspected, never prepared for. She has been told she carries a serious infection, one that has the power to alter the course of every relationship she touches. But the greatest concern is not the diagnosis itself, the danger lies in the question of who she has already exposed. Yes, my child, the weight of this revelation is not about her alone. It is about the choices she hid, the secrets she carried, the actions she covered with innocence, and the consequences that have now come knocking at her door with undeniable force. What troubles heaven is not only her sickness but the truth behind her connections, because she was not alone in her actions, and now the consequences are no longer hers alone to bear. She has passed this infection to another person, someone who trusted her, someone who walked into her arms unaware of the darkness she carried. And this is where the story tightens around you. The person she infected is not random. It is not a stranger. It is someone tied to your life, someone whose downfall will send ripples directly into your world. This truth, my child, is only the beginning. What she has done will shake the foundation of trust, loyalty, and family. You must understand that her diagnosis is not a medical moment, it is a spiritual echo of every hidden decision she thought would never surface. She believed her actions were preserved in shadows, but shadows always betray those who trust them. She lived her life behind two faces, the one she showed the world and the one she hid in silence. Now both faces are being exposed at the same time. And her fear is not just fear of disease, it is fear of discovery. She knows someone's life has already been altered by her choices. She knows someone's future has already shifted because of her silence. And soon, you will know exactly who that person is. But before heaven reveals that name, you must prepare your heart for a truth that will shake more than your feelings, it will shake your understanding of loyalty, of family, and of betrayal. But before I show you who she infected, you must hear the shocking truth about the life she lived in secret, the hidden actions that led to this moment, and the betrayal buried beneath her gentle smile. God says, my child, now that you understand the weight of her diagnosis, you must see the life she lived that brought her to this moment, because nothing this heavy appears out of nowhere. She walked through her days wrapped in a calm smile, speaking softly, acting gentle, keeping her hands folded like someone who would never harm a soul. But beneath that quiet exterior was a life built on hidden decisions, secret meetings, private conversations, and choices she never expected to face consequences for. She believed her secrets were safe because she carried them in silence. She believed no one would ever trace her actions because she moved quietly and calculated every step. She believed darkness would cover her tracks because she convinced herself she wasn't doing anything wrong. Yet heaven saw everything. Every whisper. Every message. Every place she went when she said she was somewhere else. Every moment she stepped into danger thinking she would walk out untouched. She thought she was in control, but control was the greatest illusion she ever held. She entertained connections she had no right to entertain. She allowed people into her life who carried energy that poisoned her spirit long before it poisoned her body. She opened doors that were never meant to be opened, and once they swung wide, she lost the ability to close them. And every time she did something questionable, she whispered to herself, no one will know. She didn't realize that heaven was watching her weave a web that would eventually tangle her entire life. The diagnosis wasn't the beginning, it was the revelation. She was shocked because she never believed her private life would ever collide with her public image. But what she fears the most now is not the infection, it is exposure. She knows that if the truth comes out, certain relationships will break forever. She knows someone will ask questions she cannot answer. She knows someone will be hurt by what she has done. And that someone, my child, is closer to you than you think. This is why the spiritual atmosphere around you has felt heavy. This is why your heart has been uneasy. This is why your intuition has been whispering that something is wrong. You have been feeling the tremors of a truth that is about to rise. She has been hiding more than sickness, she has been hiding betrayal. She has been hiding a connection she should have never touched. She has been hiding actions that will soon force themselves into the light. And heaven is preparing you so the truth does not break you when it reaches your ears. But before I reveal the identity of the person she infected, you must understand the dangerous dynamic between them. The hidden relationship that led to this unfolding storm. God says, my child, now you must understand the dangerous connection that brought everything to this breaking point, because the story you see on the surface is only a fraction of the truth unfolding behind the scenes. The woman who received the diagnosis did not walk into this situation alone, she walked into it tied to someone she should have never allowed into her heart, her home, or her private space. This person approached her with charm, with softness, with convincing words that made her feel wanted in moments when she was emotionally vulnerable. She mistook attention for genuine care, validation for loyalty, and desire for love. She stepped into their arms thinking she was entering comfort, but what she actually entered was a trap wrapped in affection. Their connection was not pure, it was built on secrecy, on stolen moments, on conversations whispered too quietly for anyone else to hear. They communicated at odd hours. They met in places that didn't belong to them. They shared things they had no right to share. And both of them knew deep down that what they were doing could destroy lives if ever exposed. But temptation makes people blind, and silence makes them reckless. They convinced themselves their actions would remain hidden forever. They believed no one would ever ask the questions that would uncover their truth. They thought the darkness would protect them because they carried their intentions in shadows. But heaven does not let deception live forever. And this relationship, this forbidden connection, is the very path through which the infection entered her life. But here is the part she is terrified of: the person she was involved with was not single, not unattached, not independent. They belonged to someone else. They were connected to a family. They were tied to responsibilities. They were anchored to people who trusted them. And now the consequences of their actions are moving like a storm toward innocence. This person knew what they were doing. They knew they were taking a risk. They knew they were crossing boundaries that could never be uncrossed. Yet they continued, believing their charm could shield them from the fallout. They told her lies about where they were going, lies about why they went silent, lies about why they pulled away when guilt began to whisper too loudly. But the truth cannot stay buried when heaven decides to expose it. The infection she carries traces directly back to the one she kept hidden, the one who used flattery to open her heart and secrecy to manipulate her choices. And this is where the story sharpens, because the person she entangled herself with is deeply connected to someone in your world. Their mistake is about to collide with your life in a way you never saw coming. But before heaven reveals who this person is, you must hear the shocking way their actions are about to unravel everything they tried so desperately to conceal. God says, my child, the person she connected herself with has been living on borrowed time, because every lie they told, every excuse they rehearsed, every secret they tried to bury is now rising to the surface all at once. They thought they were clever enough to juggle two lives. They believed they could manage deception without consequence. They believed they could control every moving piece, her emotions, their partner's trust, the timing of their actions, and the direction of their story. But deception is a ticking clock, and the moment she received her diagnosis, the countdown toward truth began. They are already feeling the pressure. Their mind is restless. Their sleep is disturbed. Their spirit is unsettled. They feel something tightening around them even though no one has confronted them yet. That's because heaven is pulling the truth closer, forcing it into the light. Their lies are starting to contradict each other. Their stories are no longer consistent. Their behavior is becoming suspicious. The weight of guilt is making them nervous in conversations they used to navigate effortlessly. They are pulling away from people they used to be comfortable with because they fear someone will look too closely and see cracks in their mask. And the woman they entangled themselves with is panicking. Her fear is pushing her to the edge, making her consider whether she should speak the truth before the truth speaks for her. She is realizing that staying silent will not save her. Her mind races with questions. Should she confess? Should she hide? Should she distance herself? Should she expose him? She knows that she is not the only one at risk. She knows that the infection she carries didn't start with her. And she knows that someone innocent, deserves to know what danger they have been placed in without their knowledge. The storm is building faster than they can control it. Heaven is orchestrating circumstances that force their decisions into visibility. A misplaced message. A suspicious phone call. A moment of inconsistency. A question asked at the wrong time. A person who notices something they never noticed before. Everything they tried to keep apart is now colliding, and they can feel the walls closing in. Their partner, connected to your life, will soon sense that something is wrong. Their intuition will sharpen. Their discernment will intensify. Their spirit will become alert. And once that happens, the truth will not stay hidden much longer. This is the unraveling that cannot be avoided. The more they try to cover it, the faster heaven exposes it. The more they try to run, the closer the truth follows. The more they try to deny, the louder their guilt becomes. And soon, the secret they both guarded will reach the one person whose life should never have been touched by this betrayal. But before I reveal who that innocent person is, you must understand the emotional explosion that will unfold the moment they discover what was done behind their back. God says, my child, the moment the innocent one discovers the truth, emotions will erupt with a force that has been building in silence for far too long. This person, the one who trusted, the one who believed, the one who stood loyal without hesitation, has no idea that danger has been placed in their path by the very person they depended on most. They have sensed something was off, but they pushed away the feeling because they chose love over suspicion. They chose loyalty over questioning. They chose peace over confrontation. But their spirit is about to be awakened with clarity so sharp it will cut through every lie that was used to manipulate them. When the truth reaches them, and it will reach them, their heart will experience a wave of shock so powerful it will feel like the ground beneath them shifted without warning. They will replay conversations in their mind, moments that seemed innocent, excuses that were offered too casually, times when they felt dismissed, and they will suddenly see everything clearly. Betrayal has a way of sharpening vision. And this betrayal is deeper than emotional disloyalty. It carries physical consequences, spiritual consequences, and psychological scars. Their reaction will not be quiet. Their reaction will not be passive. Their reaction will not be small. Inside them, a storm will rise, a mixture of anger, disbelief, heartbreak, and fear all forming at once. They will question themselves, wondering how they missed the signs. They will question their partner, wondering how someone they loved could put them in harm's way. They will question their entire history, wondering how much of their life was truth and how much was performance. This person does not deserve this pain. They did nothing to cause it. They did nothing to invite it. They held on, they supported, they waited, they trusted, and in return they were given deception hidden behind gentle words. When the truth lands, their emotions will demand answers. And heaven will allow the confrontation because justice must replace manipulation. They will confront their partner with a strength born from heartbreak. The one who lied will try to deny it. They will try to twist the story. They will try to blame others. They will try to minimize their actions. But denial cannot survive when heaven exposes. And the woman involved, the one who received the diagnosis, will no longer be able to hide her fear. The truth will corner both of them until every lie collapses. And the innocent one will walk through this storm with a fire inside them that will not let deception reign any longer. This moment will change their life. And it will change yours too, because what touches them inevitably flows into your world. But before heaven reveals how this truth reaches the innocent one, you must hear the shocking final step, the moment the truth travels straight toward your life and exposes the connection you never saw coming. God says, my child, now you must understand how this storm finds its way from their world into yours, because the truth does not stay contained once heaven releases it. What begins in secrecy always travels, always spreads, always makes its way toward the one who needs to know, even if the people involved try desperately to stop it. The innocent one who is about to discover the betrayal is connected to you more closely, more deeply, and more personally than you realize. Their pain will eventually flow into your awareness because heaven does not allow you to remain blind when something so close to your circle is shifting. The spiritual atmosphere around you has already been tightening. You have felt heaviness without cause, emotions that didn't belong to you, random moments of anxiety, sudden waves of intuition that made you pause. These were not coincidences. You have been spiritually sensing the truth that is on its way, because heaven always warns before revelation arrives. The moment the innocent one learns the truth, their energy will ripple outward. Their shock will send vibrations through the environment. Their anger will echo into conversations that eventually reach your ears. Their heartbreak will draw you closer because heaven wants you positioned to witness the truth unfolding. And the truth will not reach you gently, it will come suddenly, unexpectedly, and with details that make your stomach twist. It may come through a phone call you weren't expecting. It may come through a message that exposes everything. It may come through someone who can no longer keep the burden of secrecy inside. It may come through the woman herself, who cracks under the pressure and confesses. Or it may come through the guilty partner whose excuses begin to collapse in front of people, revealing more than they meant to. The truth is already moving toward you from multiple directions. Doors that once hid things are now opening. People who once stayed silent are now feeling compelled to speak. Messages that were once deleted are starting to resurface. Suspicion is rising. Patterns are breaking. Behaviors are being questioned. The guilty ones can feel the walls closing in, and fear always causes people to make mistakes. Those mistakes will expose what they prayed would remain hidden. And when the truth finally reaches you, you will feel a deep sense of clarity, not shock, not confusion, but confirmation. Confirmation of what your spirit sensed. Confirmation of the energy you felt. Confirmation of the shift that has been hovering around your life. Heaven has been preparing your heart so you do not break when the truth stands in front of you. This revelation is not coming to destroy you, it is coming to protect you. It is coming to position you. It is coming to show you who is genuine and who has been wearing a mask. But before heaven unveils the final reveal, the identity of the person directly tied to you, you must hear what destiny has already planned for the moment the truth fully enters your life. God says, my child, now you are ready for the truth that has been circling your life like a storm waiting for permission to break open. Everything I have shown you, the diagnosis, the betrayal, the hidden relationship, the unraveling, the emotional explosion, and the movement of truth toward your world, has been building toward this moment. The person directly tied to you, the innocent one who stands at the center of this unfolding pain, is someone whose path has been intertwined with yours long before any of this began. Their protection is connected to your purpose. Their well-being is connected to your destiny. Their heartbreak is tied to your next chapter, because heaven is positioning both of you for elevation that requires separation from deceitful people and hidden danger. When the truth finally reaches them, they will not walk through it alone. Heaven has already assigned you to play a role, not to carry their burden, but to witness their awakening, to stand as a voice of clarity, to be a steady presence when their world feels like it's collapsing under the weight of betrayal. The revelation will shock them, but it will not break them. The truth will shake them, but it will also free them. And when this freedom arrives, it will begin a chain reaction in your life as well. The removal of those who carried deception clears the spiritual path for blessings that were previously blocked. The exposure of the guilty ones tears down walls that were keeping your destiny on delay. The truth coming into the open is not tragedy, it is divine alignment. And now, heaven reveals the final piece. The person directly tied to you, the one who was unknowingly placed in danger, the one whose partner betrayed them with the woman who carries the diagnosis, is someone in your own circle. Someone whose presence you value. Someone who trusts you. Someone who will need you when the truth lands like thunder. It may be a sibling. It may be a close friend. It may be someone you consider family. But heaven says this clearly: when the truth reaches your life, you will not be harmed. You will not be touched by the infection. You will not be pulled into their consequences. You are being informed, not endangered. You are being prepared, not punished. You are being elevated, not entangled. The truth is coming not to break your peace, but to protect your future. And once everything is exposed, everything that has been stagnant in your life, your relationships, your finances, your opportunities, your clarity, will begin to move. Because this revelation is the final obstacle standing between you and the chapter heaven has been trying to bring you into. And now heaven asks you one question: are you ready for the shift that will happen in your life once this truth finally reaches your door?